Welcome to episode 2 of Fireside Chats. This is a weekly Zoom call where we catch up with wedding and event professionals about what's happening in our industry. Enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fireside Chats.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Do you guys want to each introduce yourselves and what you do?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. I'll start. My name is Asa Thomas, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at Art Ovation Hotel.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Sims. I'm the Director of Special Events for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Sun Coast.
I'm Laura Stewartwood, the Manager of Special Events at Oslo Repertory Theater.
Awesome. Cool. So Asa, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on with the hotel in terms of occupancy, events, and how you guys are operating?
Yeah, so right now the hotel is closed. We closed towards the end of March due to everything with COVID. But I'm just happy to say that we'll be opening back up on May 21st, Memorial Weekend. But some of the great things that it's been great with booking of events, ever since the close of the hotel and everyone being home. It's been such great and positive feedback from the community and from, other clients that we have. Yesterday I booked 3 events just for 2020. So people have a positive outlook on, things are gonna kind of get back to normal, towards October, November, which is nice in the business world too.
Is that when your first events are, in October?
No, I have an event June 16th.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it is. It's definitely, we've had to move a lot of events, but we picked up a few events, since we've been closed. So it gives us some positivity, a great feeling that things might move towards a good direction soon.
Awesome. Jennifer, how about you?
Yes, so we have made some adjustments. Unfortunately, we did have to cancel 2 events. One of them was actually supposed to be in April in Manatee County, and the other was going to be in Collier County, scheduled for tomorrow, actually. The format was kind of that whole chefs cooking for kids, where all the chefs are cooking different items, and there was going to be a large turnout. So we have canceled those, but we have fundraising efforts in place to try to get our sponsors to donate those funds back to us. So we're working on that. We have moved, we service 5 counties, Sarasota, Manatee, Highlands, Hardy, Collier, and Lee. So we manage events throughout Florida. The good news is we don't have another event until we have one in the fall, which is a golf tournament in Sarasota in early November. And then the others are scheduled for next spring. So we were able to kind of move things around and shuffle them. And we're working, we're just getting creative. Like with the golf tournament, we're figuring in if we can only have one person on a golf cart, we may have to do that. There's a dinner the night before, we may have to cut the amount of capacity we can provide. So we're just getting creative with contingency plans. If this happens, what do we do? Worst case scenario, if we can't have the dinner the night before in a restaurant, we'll have it on the golf course the next day under a tent. So it's just about being creative and staying positive.
And can you real quick, just for anyone who doesn't know, what the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters is?
Yes, absolutely. So we're a mentoring program, and most of our funds go to creating matches, which is kind of hard because it's something that's not super tangible, but it basically costs $1,500 to make a match between a big and a little brother or sister. There are background checks that have to go into place, sometimes home visits, that sort of a thing. So it's a lot of administrative background, but it's a wonderful program. We actually celebrated our 50th anniversary last year for Big Brothers Big Sisters at the Sun Coast, and it's really rewarding. It's great to see, how these families come together, and the bigs and the littles, they have a wonderful time. So happy to be here.
Awesome. And Laura, how about you? What's happening with your events in your season?
Well, we had to cancel pretty much the rest of our season. All of the events that we had left. I remember it was March 11th when I think things really got real for us. because we had an event on March 16th with over 200 people that we were scrambling to kind of cancel everything. We held on to a couple of things for as long as we could. Like I was hoping to have, an event in May, and our trip, we also do fundraising trips. And we had about 45 donors signed up to go to Canada in June. And we just canceled that a couple of weeks ago because obviously the borders aren't open and, we can't go. People don't feel comfortable traveling, even if we could go. So after cleaning up kind of all of that, our donors have been so generous. We asked if they could donate their tickets back to us to help with some of the loss of the income since we had to cancel all of our shows for the remainder of the season. So most everyone donated their tickets back, which is phenomenal.
That's great.
That's Sarasota it's a great community.
Yeah.
So, but we still have had a significant loss. And one of the first things that we did, I use a program called Give Smart for our gala, which is, you can do online auctions, silent auctions, things like that. So because of my contract for our gala that was back in March, I was able to create a new campaign, which is we ended up creating a COVID-19 fundraising campaign through that. So we've raised money through that. We've raised money through ticket donations, people that donated their tickets back for the actual performances. So, that was kind of cleaning up that season, looking forward to next season. I'm creating 4 different calendars and budgets right now. The plan A being what we want it to be, opening as usual. And then of course, plan B, C, and D. So that's really difficult because you can't really budget correctly based on plan B, C, and D. And Jen, I'm sure that you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel your pain, sister. Well,
yeah.
and it's hard. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but as a nonprofit, it is hard because you work so closely with the local community and local small businesses. So there are trade outs, there are in-kind donations. And like, how do you ask restaurants right now to donate food and service? They're laying off their staff. So it's all contingent.
Exactly. You can't actually budget the way that you normally do.
Yeah.
So that's been really difficult to deal with, but
and for your plan A, like best case scenario, when do you guys start up with shows and events again?
My first event, my first real event would be in October.
Okay.
And
that's like a season kickoff? Yeah.
And then our musical would open in November. So that's what we currently have planned. And hopefully all goes well. It's just everyone else, we're kind of just seeing what happens every day and trying to adapt to it.
May I ask a question to both Laura and Asa? So as far as seating in the theater and or Asa in your ballroom, is it the same parameters as a restaurant? So right now 25% may go up to 50%. How does that work?
Yeah, right now for us, it's 6 feet apart and in the same parameters that, so that's what we have to kind of see, because we do have events, first event again, like I said, in June, but we may not be able to just because you can't stop people from gathering in the pre-function area and make them stand 6 feet apart or put employees at risk. So everyone's kind of just, waiting. And that's how we're even dealing with budgets and 5 different plans as well on bringing our staff back, because we don't want to bring them all back. Something happens again and we have to lay them off again. So it's definitely a big guessing game right now to how to move forward from this.
Sure.
And so, Laura, are you guys planning stuff like that too for social distancing at your events and in the theater itself?
I mean, definitely, but I can't even go there at this point right now. I mean,
time will tell. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, the hotel, I mean, you're planning to open in a couple of weeks. That has to be on your mind. I mean, I know that my first event is in October, which anything could happen between now and then. I mean, that's just what I'm learning every day. It's like literally
Right.
anything could happen. So I'm trying not to get too like focused on one idea. They're of course going through my head of what I might have to do, but I'm just gonna kind of see what happens.
It has been nice. On another note, I've been out and about the past couple days, and now that they're slowly, opening things up, there's been a lot of people out and about. I went to Marina Jack's last night for dinner on the bayfront, and there were a lot of people out, but they were very good about keeping the tables apart, social distancing. But I can see the excitement, like on a positive note, people are excited to slowly get back out there and see each other. People are starting to put birthday dinners, get-togethers together. I actually just got a text about a birthday dinner at a restaurant in a couple weeks, and they've given us a 90-minute time slot, so we know we have 90 minutes. But, so I think, with time, it's all going to come together. We just have to be patient.
Are there any things that you guys think will be lasting from this, that in 2 or 3 years, things we'll be doing at events that we'll be able to pinpoint that came from this time?
Well, that's a good question. To think about that.
Yeah. I think we all probably need to think about how many people we put into a space, how many people we put at a table. I know me, for one, you think, oh, a 60-inch round, the max you can do is 10 people. Well, maybe we start doing less. And that means more expenses, because then you need more tables and you need more linens and you need more, you know what I mean, so that you can spread everyone around. I know on my mind, I try to save money by putting more people at a table. And Jen, I'm sure in the nonprofit world.
Oh yeah.
So I think that those are things that we have to think about, just keeping people further than they're used to, maybe, at events.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
And I think that it's going to be more quality over quantity. I think that we're going to see a lot less events, and we're going to see, instead of a nonprofit or a corporate organization, instead of doing, quarterly regional meetings, they may do one a year, to bring down the traveling, to bring down so much of being away from home and having all of that contact. I mean, I really am seeing that with RFPs, with talking to, the different organizations, that they're trying to just plan, one big event and not so many, smaller things.
I agree 100%. And I'm sorry, Laura. And I think in this town specifically, I mean, we're so blessed that we have so many amazing organizations, but it's already been overkill as far as I'm concerned. So I think everybody is evaluating what they're doing. They're coming up with creative new ideas to bring people together and to fundraise, but I definitely think it's going to be quality over quantity with events, for sure. The other thing I was going to mention too, and again, coming just from a nonprofit standpoint, we're very reliant on auctions and silent auction items and raffles and all that stuff. And a lot of nonprofits are, and we know it's going to be a struggle getting those items in the next year or two. It's a little insensitive sometimes to ask businesses that are just getting back on the ground to donate. So we'll just have to come up with other ideas to fundraise, but it's definitely kind of bringing everybody out of their box. So
yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good, because I think we're going to have a lot of people thinking of things we never thought of before, because it's pushing us to do it.
Yeah.
So I know, with my nonprofit work with Equality Florida, we're already brainstorming ideas for, our gala in November, because it can't be the same.
Right. Well, Laura mentioned trips. I mean, when are people going to feel comfortable traveling again? If you're selling trips or things like that, it's all, part of the package. But Laura, I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
I can't remember at this point.
Oh, sorry. I felt like I interrupted you.
No, I agree with the quality over quantity. I felt for a long time that this whole town, me included, like our organization included, we do way too many events. I mean, it's like you're throwing an event for someone walking in the door sometimes, I feel like, is what we're doing. And it's too much. But I also think that organizations are going to reevaluate the budgets. A lot of times organizations feel like they need to throw these events so that they can reach a budget or they can make a goal. And now that everything is being reevaluated, that budget pressure might not be there, which I am hoping is the case, so that we can use the events that we are doing to actually reach people effectively instead of just throwing a bunch of them for fun.
And sometimes
so, anyway,
I
I agree with both of your comments.
And I think we base our event success sometimes on just ticket sales and not the event itself. And I think this will let people, have the people come who actually care about what you're doing.
Exactly.
Instead of having people who, are just going to every event or they might buy a ticket, but they're not going to donate. They're not going to come to support your organization in other ways.
Right.
Or for ASA, they're going to come to an event and not come back and patronize the restaurant or the hotel.
Right.
So I think it'll let us put more time with the people who actually care than just, it's the same with like weddings, people who are doing these 300-400 person weddings, they're, the couple's not getting to spend the time with those people. So I think it'll, those will shrink and they'll have more quality time with their guests. It's kind of the same parallel. Laura, I did want to commend you though, because you kind of got your gala in right before everything shut down.
Right.
And I know that in that what was it, the March 8th?
March 7th.
March 7th. And you had kind of done some cool adapting at the last minute because, you had a Bollywood theme and you had done, like using the traditions to kind of tell people to not touch each other, essentially, but you did it in a really kind of, you tied in with your theme and, we're taking a look at public health kind of a week or two before it was cool to do that or necessary. So I just thought that was really neat that you adapted that quickly.
Yeah, it was so weird that week. And everyone probably feels this way when they're working on a gala and it's a few days away. And like, so, we kept listening to the news and our management was talking to me about what we should do and what emails we should send out and things like that. And I was just hoping like, oh, we cannot cancel this. Like I've put so much work into this. So I'm really pleased that it really was one of the last galas in Sarasota and people were able to have that experience. And I'm actually working on a recap video that I'm about to release either this week or next week. So hopefully that'll bring some positivity online.
Before we wrap it up, do you guys have anything else you want to get out there? Last thoughts? Positivity?
I just think, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, it's the same. I just think that slowly, things are kind of, people are feeling a little bit more relaxed and better. But what also has been great is just seeing all of how the community has been coming together to support each other, not just, the nonprofits, but these local restaurants. And, we're paying attention more to not just, patronize the chains. We are, we're trying to support each other. And that's been overwhelming and great to see.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Asa. It's just been nice to see everybody come together and support each other. And, even though it's been a lot with people working from home with their children, but just all the reconnecting with family and friends and calling loved ones. And I just hope that, during this time that everybody just continues to, practice that and realize what's been, slow down a little bit and appreciate what you have. And everything else will work out. It just will take time.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel like nothing in my life that has ever been memorable or worth it has been easy. So I just feel like really good things will come out of this for everyone, even though it sucks.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.